If you want to lose weight, listen up. I am about to share with you the simplest weight loss diet ever. I call it the robot diet. Hi, I'm Dr. Chris Masterjohn of chrismasterjohnphd.com, and this is Chris Masterjohn Light, where the name of the game is details, schmeetails, just tell me what works. And today we're going to talk about how to use the robot diet for weight loss. To eat like a robot is to eat the same thing in the same amount, day after day after day after day. You might be saying, why would I want to do that? Well, the consistency of the robot diet substitutes for the need to track calories. Now, yes, many people can institute a handful of simple rules without tracking anything and spontaneously induce a caloric deficit and lose weight. If you can achieve that, great. But if you can't, if that doesn't happen, doesn't come to you spontaneously, you need to take matters into your own hands. And the most reliable way to attain a caloric deficit is to track your calories. I had given a previous episode that I'll link to in the description so that you can refer back to it if you'd like, of this same approach that was based on calorie tracking. And what we did in that episode was we said, I'm going to track my calories and track my body weight every day for a week. I'm going to hope that eating the way I usually do, I'm usually not gaining or losing any weight, so I should, by the end of that week, have no net change in my weight. You might go up a little bit from day to day, down a little bit from day to day, but over the week, you're averaging out similarly. As long as that's true, you know that that amount of calories, without doing any calculations, you know that that amount of calories, empirically, is a caloric balance for you. So then you take 300 calories off in the second week per day, and you try to meet two goals. Number one, you want to lose weight at your desired rate. And then number two, you want to feel good. You don't want to be hangry all the time. You don't want to be cutting into your sleep. As long as you're losing weight and you feel good, you're at the sweet spot for sustainable weight loss, and you just eat the same amount of calories unless things change and you need to revise them slightly over time to stay in that sweet spot. As long as you stay in that sweet spot of losing weight and feeling good, you just eat the same calories over time for 3 or 4 months in most cases. When you achieve your desired goals, you then stabilize. The problem with that approach is that tracking calories is time consuming. Yes, the apps like MyFitnessPal and Chronometer make it easier than it ever has been, but it's still time consuming. The robot diet can take that same approach and cut out the time consuming nature of tracking calories. You still need to know what you're eating, and you might need to make a list of what to eat and record it in that sense, but once you have your list, you don't need to record things day to day. You still need to measure things so that you are eating the same amounts of food every day, but you don't need to track and record what those measurements are. You don't need to input them into an app. So it saves a lot of time. Following the same approach, the first week, you eat the same food every day in the same amounts. You model it after whatever you're currently eating, you just take out the variation. If in that first week you can ensure that your weight is stable on average, then you look at that diet and you look for about 300 calories of food that you can remove. Ideally, it's not your favorite food because you don't want to suffer for 3 or 4 months. And ideally, what you're taking out isn't the most nutritious thing there because you're not trying to get a nutritional deficiency. But you take out 300 calories of something that seems expendable in those senses to you, and then you, once again, start eating the same food every single day, modeled on this 300 calorie deficit. Just as in the previous version, you look for losing weight at the desired rate, and you look for feeling good. If you're in that sweet spot, you just keep eating the same thing every day until you achieve your desired goals. In most cases, I'd recommend going for 3 or 4 months. Using the robot diet, over the course of January through the end of April this year, I lost 13 pounds and 1 inch off the narrowest part of my waist and 2 inches off my love handle region. For me, that was a success. I wasn't overweight. I was just trying to lean out and I've achieved my desired goals. Although this was not the funnest diet ever, it certainly worked and it did not require a lot of time. As I stabilize, I can simply add a certain amount of food that leads back to weight stability, and then I can start tinkering with substitutions that I can make that are in caloric balance. So over the course of 4 months, I didn't really need to think too hard. Now, whenever I have time, I can say, well, what can I put in that diet that would have the same caloric value? And I add a little bit of variety as things go on. As time goes on, I learn a little bit of variety that I can put in, and I still maintain my goals. If you eat like a robot, you too can have robot abs. But if you walk like a human, you talk like a human, and you act like a human, no one will know where they came from. The audio of this episode was enhanced and post-processed by Bob Devodian of Torian Mixing. You can find more of his work at torianonlinemixing.com. This episode is brought to you by Testing Nutritional Status, the ultimate cheat sheet. Everything you could ever need to know to optimize your nutrition, all in one place. Easier to find and use than ever before. Get your copy at chrismasterjohnphd.com/cheat sheet. All right, I hope you found this useful. Signing off, this is Chris Masterjohn. This has been Chris Masterjohn Light, and I will see you in the next episode.